Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and Wargames. In this video, we are going to take a look at the much anticipated Order Colossus Squadron, which are those Vitruvian Colossi of the Order for the Sultanate faction of Dystopian Wars. So I'm quite excited about those because when they were announced, I was really not expecting this angelic aspect. And they look extremely cool, but I have some trouble understanding how big or large they will be. I'm trying to get them painted at a high quality, and to get this, I need to understand how large they are. And we really had some troubles from the pictures to understand that. Are they as big as really massive Vitruvian Colossus? Are they as big as, I don't know, John Henry Colossus from the Union? Well, without further ado, let's have a look at what is inside and stay until the end, because since this is a small release and we will not make a dedicated what to build for just like one variation, we will talk about the two variants and how to play them at the end of the unboxing. So it's going to be 2 in 1. And all right, here they are. So the first things, well, we have 2 flying bases and some flight stands, no surprise here. And we have a ton of resin. It is a full resin kit. It seems to be extremely highly modulable. So some stuff went out already, like this little head that came to say hi. And is that a second head? Yeah, both those heads were on their own, but it's fine. And yeah, I don't know if you can see, but there is really a ton of resin around, and they are extremely modulable, much more than I had anticipated. In the sense that, let's get it further away, you see you have different types of legs there. And you can, I think, really customize, choose your heads, your arms, your everything. And yeah, your shoulder pads, everything needs to be glued together. Oh, and this is the portal generator, okay, from one of the variants that we will see a little bit later. And this is the Myrmidon head of the close combat variant, even though I'm pretty sure like you can put the head that you like and nobody is gonna say anything. And yeah, those are the alternative heads. Okay, so you have 2 types of heads, some more legs or arms. No, these are the arms, those are the legs. So between the very different legs and the different flight stands, I think you can really customize them to pose however you want. Then you have a little set of arms, some of those just pointing. You have a lot of variation. You can put some open palms, those with a sword that looks amazing, and yeah, closed palms, etc. Really some good variation. You can make twice the same variant or one of each. We will see what I recommend a little bit later, but I am very partial to one of the variant, especially since it combos well with itself. The wings and the torso, of course, very important, and for this we have no variation. So okay, can I lay them out so you can have a vision? All right, so this is what you get for each of those. So you have the torso, legs, the arms, the hands, and finally the shoulders and heads. So you can really, as you can see, customize them however you want. So there is a lot of modularity, especially between the legs and the arms. And with these different flight stands, you can really, if you buy like this box twice, you can really make them look very different, even if they are all of the same variants. Talking about variants, that is going to be it about the unboxing. We are now going to take a look more in detail at the looks, at the rules and how each variant plays, and which one you should build. Should you want 1 box, 2 boxes? How do they combo with the rest of the Sultanate? So it's going to be quite short, but let's have a look at it right now, and I'll give my opinion of the kit at the same time.
So how do they actually play on the table? We've seen what they look like, and I'm quite happy to say that they are efficient. They cost 160 points, which is about the same price range as the Colossus of the Imperium or the Commonwealth, and it is as good as them, I would say, which is to say that they're extremely usable. Like really, they're not the absolute weapon, but they will do their job, and they are much better than, for example, the Colossus of the Colossi of the Union, which are terrible, and the ones of the Covenant, which are really not good either. So good news for this, because they look good, and we are happy that we'll be able to play them without feeling like we shoot ourselves in the foot. They cost 160 points, these little Chaska, which are the combat variant, like close combat variant, and the ones that I will be building because they look so cool. They are Armor 7, Citadel 14, so quite up there in terms of cruisers because they are Mass 2. So it's kind of like a heavy cruiser, but remember it's 160 points. They have 5 hull points before they get crippled, very good, and only 2 once they are crippled, so very bad. They have only 7 hull points in total. They will stay efficient for a while, but then that's it. They have a lot of special rules and some good weapons. They are very fast, speed 9, turn of 6, so they are very maneuverable. And they have tons of special rules. They are very good at boarding as well, because they have elite crew, so rerolling blanks in attack and in defense, and they have core Caroli, so they support even better. Like they're extremely good at boarding, and they combo even better if you have the Order Patron, which will give you +2 to your free value. So they will start to be free 10 elite crew core Caroli, so starts to be quite a bit. And the thing that it makes it even better, there is a Valor effect that you can use for the free. We'll talk about it now. You will gain sustained to your quality, knowing that you have elite crew. That means you will be very reliable, rerolling blanks and one of the 2 blues, and you will gain +6 fray if you target a Colossus. So it means if you try to board a Colossus with the good patron, you will be at fray 18. So there's no ways in getting up from that, especially if you have sustained and rerolling blanks. It really gives them this kind of like Colossus Hunter type of role, where they will be kind of like a Gundam, just flying around and obliterating the enemy Colossus. So really cool and fluffy, and don't we love alien fanatic Gundams. They also have inspirational, which is whatever, but if you kind of remember it, good for you. And they have armored decking, making them a little bit more resilient against rockets, which they will need because they are aerial, so impossible to hide almost if you have flying islands. And they have ADV2, which is ridiculous. So they are very, very vulnerable if you deploy them on the table, but you will probably want to put them in strategic reserve because, come on. They also have power slide, so again, goes into their mobility, strategic withdrawal, and unexpected arrival. Very good combo, because even like the first turn, you will probably put them in an order battle fleet anyway, right? So you will have strategic reserve, so you will be able to put them with the rest of your order very easily. But then it means that you arrive on turn 2, you do all your business, and then you can go back into the shadows, like into the sky, and come back next turn. So we'll talk right now about how to play them, but I think what you want to do with those very fragile ships, but very fast and very good, is you want to stay in strategic reserve, attack something vulnerable in the back, like I don't know, an aircraft carrier or something like this, and then very fast, before your enemy can start to go back on you and shoot you down, you want to go back in strategic withdrawal and come back next turn to really be extreme like Gundam-like and just appear, slice something with your star blades, and then just go away and teleport again behind another enemy. Their extreme mobility, like really extreme, is how you will keep those guys alive. And finally, the last capacity that they have is celerity, which again goes into this extremely fast Macross or Gundam appearance. And this means that it's expensive valor effect, 40 plus in terms of the card value that you need to use. Probably you will want to use Valorous Conduct to stabilize this and make sure you can use it. So if you use this, each model in this rule, because you can make them a pack of 2, that made at least 1 point of damage in a ramming action, which basically means that actually did a ramming action because they're efficient, of course you will do damage. They can then make a second ramming action against, and this is important, against the same or a new point of impact, so you can target another ship within 3 inches of the first, and the dice pool is the same the second time. Which means that those guys, if you put 2 of those together, you're gonna make a great boarding action, because first of all you will have hull 5 plus movement, you will have 10 plus your Starblade or ramming 12, let's say 10 because you will go out of strategic reserve. So you will have something like 20-ish dices arc on your ramming, great. And twice if you have 2 of these Chaskas, and then with this very expensive and powerful Valorous Conduct effect, celerity, you will make another 2 of the ramming actions, which means that it will be like 4 dice pools of about 20 dices each. Wow, that's a lot. And that's not even counting the crazy boarding that you will have. and the shooting that you will have as well, which is not negligible either. So those things, if you put two of them together, they can really like harass your enemy and obliterate a few targets each time. Enemy will not be able to stay packed, not because they have blast, they don't, but because if they arrive in the middle of the enemy fleet, they will just slaughter everything. Between 4 ramming accents, 2 great boardings. If you have some cards, you can combo celerity and vigor because it's at different phases of your activation, so you can use both valor effects together, and then yeah, you will just obliterate your enemy and kill everything that is within 3 inches of your crazy Gundams of death. Amazing. Let's just talk quickly about the twin judgment lances that they have as well. It's the same weapon as we've seen on the Retage, which is 8/8. Another reason why you kind of want to have a unit of 2, which is how I will play them personally. Those are as good as always. Arc sustained, gunnery, so not so good gunnery, and hazardous, so great weapons. You will probably with the Chaskas, as we've said, always come out of like unexpected arrival. So consider them that they will shoot 6/5 or 5/5, so enough to cause quite a few damage to a cruiser. But don't expect to go and deal terrible damage to heavy battle cruisers with that. Heavy battle cruisers, you attack them with your ramming and your boarding, and those twin judgment lances, use them to hunt down little frigates, or better yet, like escorting cruisers, or even better, aerials, because they don't care if you are at long range, they shoot just as good. So great units, really usable. They're very fragile, so as all the Sultanate, they are quite difficult to take into hands. A new player might be disappointed and be like, damn, like I didn't do much with them. But unlike, for example, the Union's John Henry, it actually has the rules and the capacities to do what it wants to do, which is to be a very fast but very fragile damage dealer. This guy actually has chances to do what it wants to do. The second variant is going to be the Qualor Vitruvian Colossus, Qualor, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, and it's more expensive, quite a bit actually, at 15 points more. It has the same stat lines, so as good a fray, which is something important. It's not made for shooting or ramming that much, this one, but consider that it has still fray 8 with elite crew and Corcaroli, so can be fine. Armor decking, agile, like all the same things. It has a portal generator, which is something very much to take into consideration, which means it can both create portals left and right for himself, for Heritage that you will have on the side, and it can go out of portals. Yes, great. And but in exchange for that, it means that it does not have strategic withdrawal and unexpected arrival anymore. So this guy will probably also use strategic reserve, because if you build Qualors, you will use them in an order battle fleet. Like I don't see you using them otherwise. Well, you can, but it's like, and so they will arrive wherever they want, and then they will start to create portals in the rear of the enemy fleet. So good and efficient. We like them for this. They have one attack, but what an attack it is! Helioblast, which is again a weapon that we've seen on the Etage, except this guy can teleport and go in the rear of the enemy fleet. And it has great portals, so it can shoot through portals. It's Helioblast, but it doesn't want to stay in the back because then it would get sniped out by railguns or something. It will arrive in the rear of the enemy, use its Helioblast at full potential, 18 dice's blast, Hazardous Bomb Arc, okay? So you cannot use them against aerial units. If they are aerial, you probably want to board them, probably, if you are going after aerial units. But anything on the ground will suffer a lot from the Helioblast, like terribly a lot. They have 2 special rules that are unique. It's like kind of like they're psychic weapons, if I sum it up easily. These Qualors, and they have 2 special rules. The first one is Soul Knowing Dirge, which is interesting. It means that enemy models within 7 inches, quite a fair range, 7 inches, it's not negligible, they will have -2 to their Citadel attributes. So combos well with your own weapons, with the Helioblast, combos extremely well with your boarding, because -2 Citadel will impact the defense capacities if you go to board enemy aerial units, for example. But it also means that all your fleet will have bonuses against ships around the Qualors. And then you have this capacity called the Qualor, and this is basically the mage spirit of the Corcaroli inside. I wasn't going to the lore of the Corcarolis, but they're really cool. It's basically alien spirit inhabiting something like a ship or armor like a knight or these giant robots. So inside the Qualor there is a mage, and he can do what is called a Qualor, which is expensive valor effect, which is at least 40 points. And then you target a single enemy unit, and that's where I think it's a bit underpowered. But a single enemy unit within 10 inches, and then every model in the unit gains a level of disorder, which is fine, but the fact that it's only one enemy unit, I'm not sure you will use it often. Maybe sometimes there will be an obvious target, like I don't know, a whole pack of frigates of the of the Union that have been using Give Them Hell, and you will cause like 8 points of damage on all the frigates thanks to this. Okay, but most of the time you will cause, I don't know, 2 to 3 points of disorder, and in the best case. That is going to be, yeah, okay, maybe 3 points of damage if they're already at the black level of disorder, or you will annoy them a little bit, etc. Not crazy in terms of offensive firepower, especially if you compare with the same 40 plus valor effect of the Chaska, which is make more ramming actions, which can cause, I can tell you, a lot more than 3 points of damage if you use this. And yeah, a little bit underwhelming. There will be very specific situations when you will see that it's a good thing to do. Like if you do this on an aircraft carrier and it means it will be at the black level of disorder and not be able to send any SRS tokens, then yes, try to do this, of course, but also try ramming and boarding because that's more reliable because your enemy cannot counter this. But yeah, a little bit underwhelmed with the Cruor. Would be very good if it would be every single enemy unit within 10 inches, because then you can just drop the Qualor in the middle of the enemy fleet and just make this huge aura of terror. Maybe it will come at one point. I will try to push it in the rules to the developers, but I'm not sure they will listen. Yeah, not crazy, but between the Cruor and the Blast and the Soul Knowing Dirge, it can be a really big thorn in the back of your opponent. So more a debuff and still a damage dealer than the Chaska, which is really a harasser and teleporting ship. We've seen the kit, we've seen the Tacticas. I hope you like this new review model where we unbox and talk about the rules at the same time. I think this is what we're going to do for the smaller releases, such as the Order Colossus, which is only 2 models, or we'll do the same for the Maximilian, for example. And this allows me to get more information in a single video. And since it's only me making the montage and publishing the videos, it allows me to publish a little bit more in a smaller amount of time. And let me know in the comments if you like this format or not. And if you don't like it, okay, I will try to find something else. And also, if you give us a comment, you can win right now a battle fleet of the Alliance and a battle fleet of the Crown. And all the comment that will be after this contest, there will be 2 more fleets to win. One of them for freedom and the other one for progress. Thank you very much for having watched until the end. Also give us a thumbs up, it really helps. If you subscribe, it helps even more because we're almost reaching 1000, and at 1000 there's going to be something very special that will happen. And until the next video, take care of yourself, of those around you, and remember to keep spreading the love all around. Bye.